Welcome back to another edition of Skipping Class. We're your three favorite people, Kelv, Jazz, and my boy Ian right here. We have three topics that we're going to bring you today: track, softball, and golf. So let's jump into with track. We have three American All-Stars. We have Emily, Jace, and Keenan. I'm sorry. How do you guys feel about those three people?
For the guys, they completed a great indoor season. They did well. They didn't do as well as I expected. I thought those guys would go down there and clown because they've done that throughout the whole indoor season. They've had a great season in PSU. They went down there. I think that was their fifth trip total visiting PSU, and they've all had great performances down there. But it is nationals. It's an invite for all the great athletes around the country. So they didn't fare as well as I thought, but they're all Americans. So they did great. I mean, I expected nothing less. Where they finished, but they did great.
Yeah, and then we talk about the female side. Obviously, we're looking at Emily Harris, someone we had on our show last week, kind of previewing what she was going to try and do here. And you spoke to something that was very interesting and something that had a big impact in her life, and that's been just a series of injuries she's had to go through. Throughout the whole time at Southern, she's been battling back from something, it seemed like, the entire time. Maybe working to her betterment, putting a little chip on her shoulder, kind of with some of the quotes that she was giving us in here. So, I mean, it's tremendous to see someone accomplish something like that. Obviously, I mean, I imagine if you talk to her, she'll be a little frustrated. She would probably want more because there's that ultimate goal. And it's unfortunate that somebody for Southern specifically wasn't able to make that happen just because they had so much talent going in here. But they still got a little bit left. We've got the outdoor season, and then Emily's actually going to be going for her fifth year, so the future's very bright.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? They came really close. Emily, you spoke to her. She's had her trial and tribulations. She's overcome a lot. Just so she can make it in this position again and perform the way she did. We're all proud of her. She did a great job herself. So did Kaylee and Morgan Hogue. Obviously, he's a male, but they all did a great job. Yeah, Melanie Bauer and Emily Presley, other pole vaulter. They all did great.
Vincent, give everybody a shout.
Everybody. They all 10 athletes. So they
did well. Everybody on the roster.
They did well, and this right here, since they couldn't bring home a top 3 national title, this should be motivation for the outdoor season and indoor seasons to come right here. So.
Sure, and then hopefully they're building. You would imagine that they are. It seems that way.
Right, I'm going to break this up. I want you guys to tell me a little something about Keenan because we haven't talked about him at all. So give me a little feedback on how you think he is as an athlete here at Southern.
Well, from like the early years on the team and now to where he's kind of become or gotten to, I guess you could say, seems like he's a well-versed athlete, just a guy that's gifted in a number of ways, so they've kind of figured out different areas that they can use him, and now seems like he's kind of found his niche, maybe, if you will. He's really improving, so it's just another young guy that looks like, somebody exciting to watch for outdoor season.
Yeah, Keenan, Scheiding, he brought in another great talent, and he's a sophomore, so he'll be here for another 2 years. So there's 2 more indoor seasons, there's 2 more outdoor seasons. He's a great triple jump athlete, so we should expect big things from him in the near future. He's a great athlete, and I mean, again, another well done recruiting job by Scheiding.
Awesome. Well, let's switch it over to softball. So our softball team went 2-2 on the field this weekend. How do you guys feel about their season thus far? Gil?
Softball, I spoke to it a couple episodes back. This is a very young team who, from the outside looking in, they notice that no one is really paying attention to these group of ladies, to them, and they just want to go out there and play softball, go out there and play baseball, win games.
So let me ask you this question. How could we show the team that that we're supporting them, not even by going to the games? What else could we do to show them that we care?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think it's as simple as going out there and supporting the ladies. Without it, I mean, they're doing pretty good. Going into the season, no one expected them to be at the top of the conference, top 5, maybe not even top 10. But they're doing their best. They're having fun out there. I'm just out there today. They love each other. They're out there playing hard. And this is a solid softball conference, so they're going against steady and good competition, but they're trying their hardest, and they're out there playing games. And I love what Coach Shim is doing, the interim head coach. She's kind of brought in a whole new atmosphere within the softball program, and because they've grown accustomed to losing over the last, since I've been here in so-and-so season. So, they're having fun, and we should expect things big things out of them in the future. But right now they're just having fun. They're playing for each other, and they're winning games.
Awesome.
Yeah, the record's improved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just hard to say much about them. They're an up and coming team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's something that you can really look to. And like you've said a number of times, all that young talent is hopefully something that can be developed. But obviously, they're making strides in the right direction, and that's really just the bottom line here. And as long as they're out there having fun, you know, what gets lost a lot of times is how much work these student athletes really put in. You know, when you have a person in your class and you talk to them about the homework that they have to do after practice and this practice and traveling, you know, I mean, there is really a lot that goes into what these guys go through. So for these girls to be having a little bit more success, you know, based around that whole idea, you know, it's fun to see, and hopefully they can get things turned around here a little bit and maybe make some kind of a push.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, as for the program itself, alongside of volleyball in a sense, maybe football, these are football. I'm not for sure quite yet, but the softball and volleyball, they're on the up and come. They're on the upswing. They both coaches are doing a great job, and you know, just trying to establish their culture, their atmosphere, their environment within, you know, their locker room, and they're doing a great job. You got to start somewhere, so we shouldn't expect big change immediately, but it is coming. It's coming.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about a new topic that we have yet to hint on, and that's golf. I have a question for you guys. Do we have any, you know, Tiger Woods on the team? Do we have any, you know, anybody like that on there?
No Tiger Woods.
Okay.
No
That's
Tiger
all right.
Woods. No McElroy. No Justin Rose. But we do have Tyler Lansford.
Oh, hey.
Taylor Lansford.
Tyler.
And he won. You know, he won an event this past weekend. The first event of the spring semester. The second event of the spring semester. He won that event, and he did a great job. That is the second event won since I've been here covering sports, and he did a great job. He's been the most consistent golfer this year for the Lions, and he won an event, which is good to see. I'm glad we're talking about golf for the first time. I'm pretty sure our one or two golf fans are glad to see us talking about golf. But
we love all the sports.
yeah, I love golf. But he won an event. The team did really well. They bounced back after a below average finish to the very first tournament of the spring semester. They finished sixth in this event, and they did good. They bounced back. They got an individual victory. So way to go for those guys.
Awesome. And Ian, do we have any like young talent on this team that can potentially rise up?
I mean, I think there's always young talent. The golf team is something that's kind of under the radar, I feel like, almost on any college campus, because that's kind of the sport as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, it's more introverted, more about you.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, previous years we've had a guy on the team, and Andrew Mayer, who was right around the area, won a state championship at Webb City. They had Ryan Burke, who's the guy who won the tournament before Taylor Lansford here. And so they'd had this kind of senior leadership from these guys who are really established, really dominant on the team. And Lansford had come in a little bit back here and had shown some real talent, some real flash. But I think those guys being around for a little bit of time to kind of give him a little tutelage, along with, you know, developing as a golfer. You know, the more times you play, the more years you put in, the better you're going to be. You understand your swing, how to work the ball. So obviously this guy's making improvements, and to win a tournament, you know, not something that we've seen a ton of times around here.
Big time.
Obviously a little bit recent with what Burke did, but still pretty impressive. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the season has to bring for Taylor, no matter what.
And it's funny, I've spoken to a lot of athletes, and they, as far as the sports where individual numbers or finishes matter, he was the only individual athlete that I spoke to didn't really put too much stock or value into his win. I asked him how he celebrated or how he felt. He said it felt good, but it felt weird winning in a sense. He said it just felt weird winning that event. But that's an event he performed really well at last season.
Sure.
So he didn't do any celebrating. He just took it. He just took the victory, and he's already looking forward to the next event. So he's a great athlete. This is a very young golf team. They lost a lot of senior leadership last year, but they still do have Ethan Hutchinson, who's a solid golfer. But they will be good in the future. I like what they're doing. They are pretty consistent. One of the more consistent athletic programs we have here also. So they'll be good.
Shooting 6 under, you know. Shout out to Lansford. That's
Big
impressive.
time. Way to go.
That's a good job.
Awesome. Well, let's switch over to our national topic. We're going to talk about the Chiefs football team and also the free agency and pre-draft athletes. Who are you guys' favorite like pre-draft athlete though?
Well, not solely based to the Chiefs, tying in with the Chiefs. Let me go with let's see. There's so many good ones.
Pick one.
Jose Bosa. Is it Jose? Is it
Joey.
Bosa? Yeah. I think he's a freak at Jose. Where I get Jose from? I think he's a freak athlete. I think his not 40, but his combine numbers weren't that good.
Sure.
But I don't put too much stock into the combine itself and pro days. I think it's for show at this point in time.
Sure. Well, tell me particularly what then is the thing that sells you when you look at scouting a player.
Well, and how about a Senior Bowl? How about going against other experienced veteran players during the season? Just the season itself, how they do on the field. The combine, without pads, all the scouts. At this point, I don't.
More of a soap opera.
Yeah, to say the man doesn't have a bright future because his 40 wasn't as good, his cone drills weren't as good. I mean, you're not selling me at least.
Sure.
So I still think he's an overall number one pick, or top three. I think he may be the most interesting. To tie in with the Chiefs, Robert Domicic.
Mdici?
Yeah. I'm doing my.
You can't be hurt on that one. That's the hardest name of all time to say.
Off the field problems, yes. We did that last year with Peters, Rookie of the Year. I love that signing or that draft pick. If he's available, get him. Mm-hmm. Get him. I think he's a freak athlete, a great talent. Get him. Establish that young defensive line that we already have in place.
Right.
Pro Bowl talents down there. And we signed Jay Howard. We have Alan Bailey on the line. Mm-hmm. You get that kid, I think we may be scared. And I think we can compete with the Broncos, at least when you talk about defensive line talent.
You putting a lot of faith right there.
I mean, if they get that kid, then why not? So those two guys, the most interesting prospects right now.
Okay, Ian? Favorite draft pick, and then tie into the Chiefs.
Oh, favorite draft pick. I guess I'm a big time receiver guy because I am a Chiefs fan, and that's been a detriment for our team for quite some time.
Yes.
I know when I look at it, I see a couple other needs, obviously corner and safety and all these places we've lost a little bit of talent, but I think John Dorsey's done a really good job of kind of back building that talent. So he foresaw Sean Smith leaving, so that's why he's got Steven Nelson last year and Phillip Gaines the year before that. So I think we have some depth there. Maybe they sign a guy, maybe they look to draft another person. That's what's really cool about the Chiefs. They put themselves in a position to where what they can do is wide open. But I think the most impactful thing and the thing that you're seeing all over all the big-time sports media is the signing of this Schwartz gentleman to play right tackle.
Eric Schwartz.
He's going to do a fantastic job, and I think specifically why they got him is because if you look at the statistics of the Browns when they played upper echelon teams like the Broncos, he shut Von Miller down. Made the guy look like he had no idea what he was doing. When they played the Bengals, he did the same thing. So when he was facing all these juggernauts of pass rushing, he was the guy that made them look like they had no opportunity. Yeah. So that's something when you pair his talent with Eric Fisher on the other side, who's very athletically gifted, and you kind of throw some of these other gentlemen into the mix that they liked at the beginning of last season before they started running into these injuries. I think the offensive line could really see some improvement here. So for Alex Smith, and then throwing downfield to get back to your initial question, it's Treadwell. Treadwell is a monster.
Treadwell, yeah, he's great.
But when I look at him, I see so much of that same thing at Dotson from TCU, but that guy can get the ball like nobody's business. Yeah. So there's a lot of opening for me. If Mdici falls, which I could see happening, there's a Spence guy that comes off the outside that was at Ohio State before, had a really bad combine, I guess. Didn't do a lot there, and then didn't really have a lot of attention at his pro day, but he's coming out of a smaller school, Eastern Kentucky. So there's a lot of opportunity. I'm just excited to see what happens.
Treadwell, almost in comparison to Emily Harris, off a gruesome leg injury. So to see him back as a first round talent, as a pick, I mean, that's great to see just as a casual football fan. Schwartz is immediately the best lineman we have now. Possibly. I think Fisher doesn't get as much love as maybe he deserves. He's gotten better. Mitch Morse in the middle is a good guy. I like Mitch. So there's some talent there. And to wide receiver, we shot Rob Streeter. It's been a detriment of ours of the last 4 or 5 seasons. Sure. How much do you believe in Connolly? This is the second season. I think Macklin is a great mentor. We'll see. But we have Kelsey still. We have weapons. All we need is one more guy on the outside. Just one more. Somebody you can pair on the same side with Kelsey or in the slot. So they had a great free agent. They had a great free agency. And hopefully, I hope that these compensatory picks don't come back and bite us. The 2 that we lost, if I'm not mistaken, they don't come back and bite us. But Hope they've drafted well the last 3 seasons since Dorsey has been here. Hopefully, again, they don't come back and bite us and they draft well again. So.
Well, let me tell you something. Our Chiefs team might be the rawest out here if we get those people. You never know. You never know.
So.
But as we both know, and as we all know, spring break is coming up next week, and we're all skipping class. Like, no class. Don't go to class. Well, go to class if you got a test or something. But other than that, don't go to class.
Don't skip the test.
Make sure you guys tell us in our comment box where you're going. We want to know where you're going. We all care. But that's the end of our show. My name is Jasmine with my 2 hitmen, Kelvin and Ian. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, watch the NCAA tournament, boy.